Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Thomas, and today's topic is an important one: public speaking in English. Many of us find it nerve-wracking, but with practice and the right tips, it's a skill anyone can master.
Hi, listeners. I'm Jennifer. Public speaking is essential. Whether it's a formal presentation, a job interview, or just expressing your thoughts confidently. Don't worry if it seems tough. We're here to share practical strategies to make it easier and more effective.
That's right. Jennifer, let's start with a key point: preparation. Preparing your speech and understanding your topic thoroughly helps you feel more confident. When you know your material, it's easier to focus on delivery instead of worrying about what to say.
Great advice, Thomas. Another tip is to focus on your audience. Think about what they want to hear and tailor your message to their needs. When you connect with your audience, it boosts your confidence and makes your speech more engaging.
Absolutely, Jennifer, and let's not forget the importance of body language. Good posture, hand gestures, and eye contact can make a big difference. They show confidence and help your audience stay engaged with what you're saying.
Speaking of engagement, using simple, clear language is key. Don't overcomplicate your sentences. Remember, the goal is to communicate your ideas effectively, so focus on clarity and simplicity.
Another critical tip is to practice out loud. Stand in front of a mirror, record yourself, or even present to a friend. Hearing your own voice can help you identify areas for improvement, like pronunciation or pacing, and boost your comfort level.
That's such a good point, Thomas. And don't forget about breathing. Many people rush through their speech because they're nervous. Taking deep breaths before and during your speech can calm your nerves and help you maintain a steady rhythm.
Exactly, Jennifer. Lastly, embrace feedback. Whether it's from friends, colleagues, or teachers, constructive criticism helps you grow. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to improve your public speaking skills. One of the best ways to boost confidence in public speaking is to visualize success. Imagine yourself speaking clearly and your audience responding positively. Visualization can help calm nerves and mentally prepare you for real-life situations. It's a great mental exercise.
That's true, Thomas. Another helpful technique is to use pauses effectively. A pause gives you time to gather your thoughts and allows the audience to absorb your words. It's also a natural way to emphasize important points, making your speech more impactful.
Right, Jennifer. Another tip is to start with a strong opening. Whether it's a story, a quote, or an interesting fact, a great introduction grabs attention. It sets the tone for your speech and makes the audience eager to hear more. First impressions matter a lot in public speaking.
Absolutely, Thomas. And to end strong, always summarize your key points and leave your audience with something to remember. A powerful conclusion is just as important as the opening. It wraps up your message and ensures your ideas resonate with the audience.
Let's talk about voice modulation, Jennifer. Varying your tone can make your speech engaging. Speaking in a flat, monotone voice can lose the audience's interest. Emphasize key words, adjust your pitch, and use your voice to convey emotion. It makes a huge difference.
That's such a valuable tip, Thomas. Along with voice modulation, try to incorporate storytelling into your speech. People connect with stories, whether personal experiences or relatable examples. It's a powerful way to make your message memorable and relatable.
Exactly, and let's not forget about timing. A well-paced speech holds the audience's attention. Practice to ensure you're not speaking too quickly or too slowly. Time yourself beforehand to fit within the allotted time while delivering all your key points effectively. Perfect advice, Thomas. Timing also helps you focus on delivering clear and concise messages. When you respect your audience's time, they're more likely to stay engaged and appreciate your effort. A balanced speech always leaves a lasting impression. Preparation isn't just about your content, it's about the setting too. If possible, Visit the location beforehand to familiarize yourself with the stage, microphone, or technology. Knowing the environment helps reduce surprises and lets you focus on your speech.
That's a smart move, Thomas. And don't forget to practice gestures and movements. Being dynamic on stage can add energy to your presentation. Use your space, but avoid pacing nervously. Purposeful movement emphasizes points and keeps the audience interested.
Another essential point is to practice active listening. Whether it's Q&A or feedback after your speech, listening to your audience shows respect and builds a connection. It's also a great way to learn and improve for future public speaking opportunities.
So true, Thomas. Finally, believe in yourself. Confidence comes from preparation, practice, and persistence. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. The more you practice public speaking, the easier it becomes. Trust yourself, and you'll keep growing.
One thing that often gets overlooked is breathing. Controlled, steady breathing helps you maintain calm and deliver your speech smoothly. Before you begin, take a deep breath to relax your nerves. During your speech, pause briefly to breathe. This keeps your voice strong and steady.
Great tip, Thomas. Along with breathing, let's talk about managing eye contact. Engaging with your audience by looking at different sections of the room builds trust and connection. Avoid staring at one spot or reading directly from your notes. Eye contact shows confidence and sincerity.
Exactly, Jennifer. Another great strategy is to prepare for questions. If your speech includes a Q&A, think about potential questions and rehearse your answers. Being prepared helps you stay composed even if a challenging question arises and ensures a smoother discussion.
That's such an important point, Thomas. And I'd add that you shouldn't be afraid to admit if you don't know the answer to a question. Honesty builds credibility. Say you'll follow up later, and make sure you do. People respect speakers who handle such moments gracefully.
Let's touch on dressing for the occasion. Your attire plays a role in how the audience perceives you. Dressing appropriately and professionally boosts your confidence and sets the right tone. Whether it's formal or business casual, dress to align with the event's atmosphere.
Well said, Thomas. Your body language is equally important. Stand tall, avoid crossing your arms, and use open gestures. Positive body language exudes confidence and encourages the audience to stay engaged. Even small adjustments to posture can make a big difference.
Another key aspect is learning from feedback. After your speech, ask for constructive criticism. Whether it's from friends, colleagues, or the audience, feedback helps you identify strengths and areas for improvement. It's a great way to grow as a public speaker.
Absolutely, Thomas. And remember, every speaking opportunity is a chance to learn. Even if something doesn't go as planned, take it as an experience to refine your skills. The journey to becoming an effective public speaker is ongoing, and persistence is the key.
To wrap up some final tips, practice makes perfect. Rehearse your speech in front of a mirror, record yourself, or perform for a trusted friend. Practicing repeatedly helps you identify areas to refine and builds the muscle memory needed for a smooth delivery.
That's such a solid tip, Thomas. I'd also recommend using tools like timer apps or speech templates to help structure your practice sessions. These tools can keep you focused and ensure you're using your time wisely as you prepare for your next presentation.
Also, don't forget to take care of your voice. Staying hydrated and avoiding foods that strain your vocal cords can make a big difference. Warm up your voice before speaking and take care of it after a long session. Your voice is one of your most powerful tools.
That's right, Thomas. And lastly, always celebrate your progress. Whether it's delivering your first speech or improving over time, take pride in every step forward. Confidence grows with practice, and your journey as a public speaker is worth celebrating every day.
Let's discuss how to handle mistakes during a speech. If you slip up, don't panic. Acknowledge the error calmly or humorously if appropriate, then move on. Staying composed shows professionalism and keeps the audience focused on your message rather than the mistake.
Absolutely, Thomas. In fact, audiences are often forgiving and may not even notice small errors unless you highlight them. What matters more is how you recover. Grace under pressure builds trust and demonstrates resilience, which are vital traits of a strong speaker.
Another point to consider is storytelling. Sharing personal stories or examples makes your speech relatable and memorable. When the audience connects emotionally, they're more likely to stay engaged. A well-told story can make your message truly resonate with listeners.
That's a great tip, Thomas. Stories not only captivate but also simplify complex ideas. When planning your speech, think about examples from your life or work that align with your topic. These narratives give your content depth and make your audience feel involved.
Let's touch on pacing. Speaking too quickly can confuse your audience, while speaking too slowly might make them lose interest. Practice varying your pace, slow down for emphasis, and speed up slightly for transitions. This rhythm keeps the audience engaged throughout.
Well said, Thomas. Adding to that, use intentional pauses. Pausing after a key point gives the audience time to absorb your message and creates anticipation for what's next. A thoughtful pause can often speak louder than words, making your speech more impactful.
Exactly, Jennifer. And while we're on the topic of impact, consider using visual aids effectively. Slides, charts, or props can enhance understanding and keep the audience's attention. But avoid overcrowding your visuals, keep them clean and relevant to your points.
That's an excellent suggestion, Thomas. Clear visuals complement your spoken words, but they shouldn't distract. Practice transitioning smoothly between your speech and visuals so the flow feels natural. This coordination shows preparation and professionalism.
To finish strong, let's focus on the conclusion. A powerful closing leaves a lasting impression. Summarize your key points briefly, thank the audience for their time, and end with a memorable statement, quote, or call to action. Make sure your final words resonate.
You're spot on, Thomas. A confident conclusion reinforces your message and ensures the audience remembers it. Take your time to deliver it with intention. Smile, make eye contact, and convey gratitude. The way you end often defines how your speech is received.
And one last thought. Always evaluate your performance. Reflect on what went well and what could improve. Keep a journal of your experiences and learnings. This practice helps you refine your skills and builds confidence for future speaking engagements.
That's such a valuable point to end on, Thomas. Self-reflection is crucial for growth. By analyzing your strengths and challenges, you're not just preparing for the next speech, you're becoming a better communicator in every area of your life.
Let's highlight the importance of body language. Good posture, hand gestures, and facial expressions can enhance your message. Standing tall exudes confidence, and using open gestures makes you approachable. Practice in front of a mirror to refine your nonverbal communication.
That's an excellent point, Thomas. Nonverbal cues are often as powerful as words. A warm smile, consistent eye contact, and purposeful movements show confidence and connect with your audience. Avoid fidgeting, as it can distract and make you appear nervous.
Another strategy is to adapt to your audience. Understanding their expectations and cultural nuances ensures your message resonates. For example, in some cultures, humor works well, while others prefer a more formal tone. Tailoring your style makes your speech impactful.
You're absolutely right, Thomas. Audience awareness shows respect and increases engagement. Take time to research their interests or concerns and adjust your content accordingly. This approach not only builds trust but also positions you as a thoughtful, effective communicator.
Let's talk about overcoming stage fright. Start by visualizing success. Imagine yourself delivering a confident speech and receiving positive feedback. Deep breathing before you speak helps calm nerves. Remind yourself that the audience is there to learn, not to judge.
That's a great strategy, Thomas. I'd also suggest arriving early to familiarize yourself with the setting. Walk around the stage or podium, test the equipment, and greet a few audience members. Feeling prepared and connected to the space reduces anxiety significantly.
Another helpful technique is using positive affirmations. Tell yourself, I am well prepared and I will do my best. Repeat it until you believe it. Confidence starts with how you talk to yourself. Your mindset can change your entire experience as a speaker.
Absolutely, Thomas. And if nervous energy persists, channel it into enthusiasm for your topic. A little adrenaline can make you more dynamic and engaging. Remember, even experienced speakers feel nervous, but they use it as fuel to deliver a memorable presentation.
Let's focus on engaging with your audience during the speech. Start with a question or an interesting fact to grab attention. Maintain eye contact with different sections of the audience so everyone feels included. Interaction builds connection and keeps people focused.
Great advice, Thomas. I'd add that inviting questions during or after your speech is another way to engage. It encourages dialogue and shows you value their input. If someone asks something you don't know, be honest and promise to follow up later.
Also, use humor carefully to break the ice. A light joke or anecdote, when appropriate, creates a relaxed atmosphere. Just ensure it's relevant and inoffensive. Humor makes you approachable and helps the audience see you as relatable and genuine.
That's a wonderful point, Thomas. Humor can transform a formal talk into an enjoyable experience. Pair it with sincerity and a clear message. When the audience feels entertained and informed, they're more likely to remember what you've shared long after the speech ends.
Let's discuss how storytelling enhances public speaking. Sharing a personal experience or an anecdote draws your audience in. Stories create an emotional connection and make your message more memorable. Just ensure the story aligns with your main point and stays concise.
That's a valuable tip, Thomas. Stories not only captivate attention, but also help simplify complex ideas. For instance, using a relatable scenario makes abstract concepts easier to understand. Practice delivering your story naturally, focusing on vivid details that leave a lasting impression.
Another way to improve storytelling is to structure it well. Begin with a clear introduction, build anticipation in the middle, and end with a powerful takeaway. A strong conclusion ties the story to your main message, leaving the audience inspired and engaged.
Exactly, Thomas. A story's flow determines its impact. Remember to pace yourself and include pauses for effect. This keeps your audience hanging on to every word. Combined with a clear purpose, storytelling becomes a tool to motivate and connect deeply with your listeners.
Now let's explore vocal delivery. Your tone, volume, and pace all influence how your message is received. Speak clearly and modulate your voice to match your content's emotions. For instance, excitement needs a higher pitch while serious points benefit from a steady tone.
That's spot on, Thomas. Vocal variety keeps the audience interested. A monotone voice can lose their attention quickly. Emphasize key words to highlight important ideas. Practice your delivery aloud to ensure your voice reflects the passion and confidence behind your message.
Incorporating pauses is also essential. Pausing after a significant point allows your audience to absorb it. It creates a sense of rhythm and adds emphasis. Avoid rushing through your speech. Taking your time demonstrates control and keeps the audience engaged throughout.
Absolutely, Thomas. Pauses can be powerful. They not only emphasize key moments, but also give you a chance to breathe and gather your thoughts. Using your voice effectively is an art, and mastering it makes your public speaking dynamic and impactful.
Finally, let's talk about practicing with feedback. Rehearsing in front of friends or colleagues helps identify areas for improvement. They can point out unclear sections or distracting habits. Constructive feedback makes your speech polished and audience ready.
That's a great suggestion, Thomas. Recording yourself is another useful method. Watching or listening to your performance helps you notice details you might miss otherwise. You can refine your gestures, tone, and overall delivery to ensure a smooth, confident presentation.
Feedback is also valuable for improving your connection with the audience. Test your opening and closing statements to see how they resonate. Use feedback to adjust your content or delivery. A strong rehearsal process prepares you for any surprises during the actual speech.
Absolutely, Thomas. Remember, public speaking is a skill that grows with consistent effort and self-reflection. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Seek feedback regularly and celebrate your progress. Each step brings you closer to mastering this important skill.
Let's talk about the importance of engaging your audience. One way to do this is by asking questions during your speech. Questions make your audience think and feel involved. For example, ask them how they relate to your topic or what solutions they'd consider. Interaction builds connection.
That's a smart tip, Thomas. Questions create a two-way dynamic, even in a formal speech. You can also include rhetorical questions to guide your listeners' thoughts. For instance, have you ever faced this problem? Sparks curiosity and helps your audience reflect on your message.
Another strategy is to use humor carefully. A light joke or relatable comment can break the ice and put your audience at ease. Humor builds rapport, but be mindful of your audience's culture and sensitivities. When done right, it makes your speech memorable and enjoyable.
True, Thomas, humor shows you're relatable and confident, but it must always serve your message. Avoid overusing jokes, as it can distract from your key points. A good balance of humor and sincerity keeps your audience engaged and ensures your message resonates.
Body language is another essential part of public speaking. Your posture, gestures, and facial expressions can either strengthen or weaken your message. Stand tall to show confidence, use open gestures to appear approachable, and smile to connect positively with your audience.
Exactly, Thomas. Body language speaks louder than words. For example, making eye contact shows sincerity and builds trust. Avoid crossing your arms or looking down, as these can signal insecurity. Practicing in front of a mirror can help you become more aware of your movements.
Adding purposeful movement can also enhance your speech. Walking to different parts of the stage emphasizes key points and keeps the audience's attention. However, avoid pacing or fidgeting, as it can distract your listeners. Controlled movement conveys energy and authority.
Absolutely, Thomas. Movement should align with your message. For instance, stepping closer to your audience emphasizes connection, while stepping back signals reflection. Combining confident body language with a clear voice creates a strong and lasting impression.
Let's highlight how to handle stage fright, a common challenge. One effective method is deep breathing. Take slow breaths before starting your speech to calm your nerves. This not only relaxes you, but also helps you maintain a steady tone and pace throughout.
That's great advice, Thomas. Visualization is another powerful technique. Imagine yourself delivering a successful speech, receiving applause, and connecting with your audience. Positive visualization reduces anxiety and boosts your confidence before stepping on stage.
Preparation also combats stage fright. Know your material thoroughly, practice multiple times, and anticipate possible questions. When you're well prepared, your confidence grows naturally. This turns nervous energy into excitement and drives your performance forward.
I completely agree, Thomas. Confidence stems from preparation and mindset. Remember, your audience wants you to succeed. They're rooting for you. Focus on sharing your message rather than worrying about perfection. With practice and the right attitude, you'll shine as a speaker.
Let's now discuss vocal variety, a crucial aspect of engaging public speaking. Varying your pitch, tone, and speed keeps your audience attentive. For instance, emphasize key points with a louder or slower tone. It prevents monotony and makes your delivery dynamic and memorable.
Great point, Thomas. adding pauses can also enhance vocal variety. Pausing before an important point creates anticipation and allows your audience to absorb your message. Avoid speaking too quickly, it can make you seem nervous. A steady, varied pace makes you more persuasive.
Storytelling is another way to bring vocal variety to life. When narrating a story, you can use different tones for different characters or emotions. This makes your speech vivid and relatable. Stories captivate your audience, helping them connect emotionally with your message.
Exactly, Thomas. Stories make abstract ideas concrete and easy to remember. For instance, sharing a personal experience about overcoming a challenge makes your advice authentic. Combine storytelling with vocal variety to create a speech that resonates deeply with listeners.
Now, let's focus on using visual aids effectively. Slides, charts, and videos can enhance your message, but they should complement, not replace, your speech. Keep slides simple with minimal text, use visuals to clarify complex ideas or provide compelling examples.
Absolutely, Thomas. Overloading slides with text distracts your audience. Instead, use one image or a few keywords per slide to reinforce your main points. Remember, you are the focus, not the visuals. Clear and concise aids make your speech more professional and impactful.
Another tip is to interact with your visuals. Point to key elements on a chart or explain what a graph represents. This keeps your audience engaged and shows you're in control of your presentation. Always rehearse with your aids to ensure a smooth and seamless flow.
Good advice, Thomas. It's also important to be prepared for technical issues. Have a backup plan in case your visuals fail. For example, print handouts or practice explaining without them. Your ability to adapt demonstrates professionalism and keeps your audience confident in you.
Finally, let's explore handling audience questions. Responding effectively shows confidence and reinforces your expertise. When asked a question, listen carefully and thank the person for asking. If unsure, it's okay to admit it and offer to find the answer later.
That's a great tip, Thomas. Adding to that, repeat or paraphrase the question to ensure everyone hears it and to buy yourself a moment to think. Keep your answers concise and relevant. If someone challenges you, stay calm and turn it into a constructive discussion.
Engage the entire audience when answering questions. For instance, make eye contact with others instead of only the person who asked. This ensures everyone feels included. If time runs out, suggest discussing additional questions afterward to maintain a positive impression. Let's talk about managing stage fright, which is common even for experienced speakers. Preparation is key. Rehearse your speech multiple times and practice in front of friends or a mirror. Familiarity builds confidence and helps you stay composed when speaking to an audience.
That's true, Thomas. Another way to tackle stage fright is by focusing on your breathing. Take deep breaths before going on stage to calm your nerves. Visualization also helps picture yourself speaking confidently and receiving applause. Positive thinking makes a huge difference.
Engaging with the audience early on can also ease nervousness. Start with a warm smile, a light anecdote, or a question to establish a connection. When you feel their support, it reduces anxiety. Remember, the audience is there to learn, not to judge you harshly.
Exactly, Thomas. I'd add that nervous energy can actually work in your favor. Channel it into enthusiasm for your topic. Your passion will shine through and make your speech more compelling. Accepting your nerves as natural can transform fear into a source of strength.
Let's dive into closing your speech powerfully. The ending is what your audience will remember most, so make it impactful. Use a strong call to action or summarize your key points clearly. Leave them with a thought-provoking quote or a story that ties back to your theme.
Absolutely, Thomas. A good conclusion connects the dots and reinforces your message. For example, if your speech was about teamwork, you might end with an inspiring real-life example of collaboration. This ensures your audience leaves with a clear and memorable takeaway.
Another tip is to thank your audience sincerely. It shows gratitude and leaves a positive impression. You can also invite them to ask questions or continue the discussion after your speech. This creates engagement and positions you as approachable and open.
Well said, Thomas. To make your closing even stronger, consider using a powerful visual or audio element. For instance, end with a bold slide or background music that reflects your message. A dynamic conclusion ensures your speech resonates long after you leave the stage.
Let's address the importance of body language in public speaking. It's not just about words, but how you present yourself. Maintain an open posture, use purposeful hand gestures, and make steady eye contact with your audience. These cues convey confidence and credibility.
That's right, Thomas. Also, avoid crossing your arms or pacing excessively, as these can appear defensive or distracting. Instead, use your space thoughtfully. Walk slowly to emphasize points, but always face your audience to keep them engaged and connected to your message.
Another crucial aspect is facial expressions. A genuine smile can create warmth and trust, while expressions that match your message help reinforce your words. For instance, showing enthusiasm during an exciting part or seriousness during a key point enhances your delivery.
Exactly, Thomas. Your tone and body language must align. A cheerful tone with dull body movements confuses the audience. Practice in front of a mirror or record yourself to identify areas where your verbal and nonverbal communication can sync better for a polished delivery.
Let's explore how to handle interruptions or unexpected situations during a speech. If someone asks a question mid-presentation, stay composed. Thank them for the question, address it briefly, and guide the conversation back to your topic without losing momentum.
Good advice, Thomas. For technical issues like slides not working, always have a backup plan. Know your content well enough to proceed without visual aids. This shows your audience that you're prepared and confident, even under pressure.
Exactly, Jennifer. Humor can also help diffuse tense moments. If something goes wrong, a light joke about the situation can ease the mood and make you appear relatable. Just ensure your humor is appropriate for the audience and context.
And if you lose your train of thought, pause briefly to collect yourself. Silence is powerful. It shows control rather than panic. Resume by revisiting your last point or seeking into a new one naturally. Staying calm and focused leaves a lasting impression of professionalism.
Let's talk about storytelling as a tool for public speaking. A well-told story can make your speech memorable and relatable. Choose a story relevant to your topic with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Personal experiences or case studies work well to engage and inspire your audience.
Absolutely, Thomas. To make your story impactful, include sensory details, describe sights, sounds, or emotions you experienced. This helps listeners visualize the scene and feel connected. But keep it concise and ensure it supports the message you want to convey.
Adding to that, stories are excellent for emphasizing key points. For instance, if your topic is teamwork, share a story where collaboration led to success. Conclude by linking the story back to your central message. This approach ensures clarity and focus throughout your speech.
That's a great point. Don't forget to practice your storytelling to get the timing right. Too long, and it loses impact. Too short, and it feels rushed. Rehearse in front of friends or colleagues to refine your delivery and adjust the pacing to keep the audience engaged.
Let's shift to managing your audience's energy during a presentation. Sometimes audiences can lose focus. To re-engage them, ask questions that prompt participation. For example, how many of you have faced this challenge? This creates interaction and renews interest.
Exactly, Thomas. Another way is to vary your voice tone and volume. A softer tone draws attention, while a louder emphasis on important words can wake up a drifting crowd. Avoid monotony, as it's the quickest way to lose your listeners' attention.
Interactive elements like quick polls or brief group discussions also work wonders. They break the monotony of listening and allow participants to process information actively. Keep these activities short and relevant to maintain your presentation's flow.
That's so true. And don't forget to acknowledge your audience's responses or contributions. A simple thank you for sharing or great point makes them feel valued. Engaged audiences are more likely to retain your message and appreciate your speaking efforts.
Let's discuss overcoming the fear of public speaking. Fear often comes from worrying about mistakes or judgment. Instead of focusing on perfection, focus on connecting with your audience. Accept that mistakes happen and use them as a chance to show your humanity and resilience.
That's such a helpful perspective. To add, preparation is key to reducing fear. Know your material inside out, rehearse thoroughly, and visualize a successful presentation. The more prepared you feel, the less room there is for anxiety to take over during your speech.
And don't underestimate the power of breathing exercises. Before speaking, take slow, deep breaths to calm your nerves. It lowers your heart rate and helps you feel grounded. Staying calm translates to clearer speech and better engagement with your audience.
Yes, and let's not forget the importance of starting strong. Begin with a powerful opening, like a thought-provoking question or an interesting fact. A strong start captures attention and boosts your confidence as you see the audience respond positively to your introduction.
Let's talk about using visual aids effectively in public speaking. Slides, charts, or videos can enhance your message, but keep them simple. Use minimal text and clear visuals to support your points. Overloaded slides can distract your audience instead of helping them.
That's so true. Also, remember to interact with your visual aids. Don't just read from the slides, explain and expand on the points. Use gestures to guide the audience's attention to key elements on the screen, making the visuals an extension of your speech.
Another tip is to ensure your visuals are accessible to everyone. Use large fonts, contrasting colors, and descriptive captions. If you include data, present it in a way that's easy to interpret, like a clean graph or a highlighted statistic, to avoid confusion.
Finally, test your visuals beforehand to avoid technical glitches. Make sure everything is visible and works smoothly. Practicing with your visual aids helps you integrate them seamlessly into your presentation, creating a polished and professional experience for your audience.
Let's move to storytelling in public speaking. Stories captivate audiences and make your message relatable. Share personal experiences or anecdotes tied to your topic. A story creates an emotional connection and makes your speech memorable, keeping listeners engaged throughout.
Exactly, Thomas. The key is to make your stories relevant and concise. Start with a hook, build some suspense, and end with a clear takeaway. Stories work best when they illustrate a point directly related to your message, helping your audience remember your main ideas.
Adding dialogue or descriptive details can bring your story to life. Instead of saying, "I was nervous," describe how your palms were sweating or your heart was racing. Such vivid descriptions make the story more immersive and allow the audience to feel your emotions.
Great advice! And don't forget to adapt your tone and expressions to the story. Smile, frown, or laugh as appropriate. It makes the delivery authentic. When your emotions match your words, your audience feels the story is genuine, creating a stronger connection.
Let's touch on the importance of feedback. After a presentation, seek constructive feedback from peers or mentors. Honest input helps identify areas for improvement, from delivery style to content clarity, enabling you to refine your skills and grow as a speaker.
Absolutely, and don't hesitate to ask specific questions like, was my pace comfortable? Or did my message come through clearly? Targeted feedback is more actionable, allowing you to focus on making practical changes that improve your overall effectiveness.
Recording your speech and reviewing it is another powerful tool. Watch and listen for areas like tone, volume, and body language. Self-assessment can be eye-opening, helping you notice habits like filler words or awkward gestures you might not be aware of.
That's a fantastic point, Thomas. Combine self-assessment with feedback from others for the best results. While it's important to take critiques seriously, don't let them discourage you. Focus on consistent progress, celebrating even small improvements in your public speaking journey.
Now, let's discuss pacing in public speaking. How fast or slow you speak can drastically affect how your audience receives your message. Speaking too quickly can overwhelm listeners, while speaking too slowly might lose their attention. Finding the right pace is crucial.
I agree, Thomas. Pacing doesn't just mean speed, though. It involves pauses as well. Pausing after a key point lets the audience digest what you said, creating space for them to reflect. These pauses help to emphasize important information and keep the speech engaging.
Also, adjusting your pace based on the content of your speech can make it more dynamic. When you're delivering something exciting or dramatic, speed it up a bit. If it's a serious or complex idea, slow down to ensure your audience can process and absorb the message fully.
Yes, dynamic pacing keeps your speech interesting. A speech with varied speeds, combined with effective pauses, will keep your audience actively listening. Remember to practice speaking at different paces and adjusting them naturally as the situation requires.
Let's talk about the power of body language in public speaking. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. The right gestures, posture, and eye contact can strengthen your message and make you seem more confident and credible to your audience.
Exactly, Thomas. Eye contact is especially important because it establishes trust and connection with your audience. When you look people in the eye, they feel included, which makes them more likely to pay attention and engage with what you're saying.
A strong posture is just as vital. Standing tall with your shoulders back shows confidence and authority. Avoid crossing your arms or slouching, as that can give the impression of uncertainty or defensiveness, which might turn off your audience.
And don't forget your hands. Gesturing while speaking helps reinforce your message and keeps the energy of your speech high. But be careful overdoing it can be distracting. Use gestures purposefully to highlight key points or emotions, ensuring they feel natural.
Next, let's look at using visual aids. When used correctly, visuals like slides or images can reinforce your message, making it easier for your audience to follow along. However, too many visuals or cluttered slides can confuse rather than clarify your ideas.
That's an excellent point, Thomas. Visual aids should complement, not overwhelm, your speech. Keep your slides simple and clean, with large fonts and minimal text. Images, graphs, or charts should be directly relevant to what you're discussing to enhance understanding.
The key to effective visual aids is ensuring they don't distract from what you're saying. Use visuals to highlight important points or simplify complex concepts, but always remember your speech is the main focus. Visuals are there to support, not replace, your words.
Absolutely. And remember, don't just read from the slides. Use them as cues to expand on your ideas. Engaging with your audience directly instead of just relying on your slides keeps the interaction dynamic and ensures your message is memorable.
Public speaking can feel intimidating, but the more you practice, the more confident you'll become. It's important to put yourself in real situations where you can speak in front of people. Start small, perhaps with a few friends or colleagues, and gradually work your way up.
Exactly, Thomas. The key to confidence is repetition. Practicing in front of a small group can help you feel more comfortable before speaking in front of a larger audience. You can also record yourself to review your performance and identify areas for improvement.
As you practice, pay attention to your tone and volume. Speaking too softly can make you hard to hear, while speaking too loudly can overwhelm your audience. Finding the right volume will ensure your message is clear and engaging without being too much for your listeners.
Absolutely. In addition to volume, think about the variety in your tone. Using a flat tone can make you sound robotic, so make sure to vary your pitch to keep your audience engaged. If your voice sounds more natural, your audience will feel more connected to your message.
Another crucial element is storytelling. Stories make your speech more relatable and memorable. They help to illustrate your main points in a way that's easier for your audience to understand. Try to weave personal experiences or anecdotes into your speech to make it stand out.
That's a great point, Thomas. People remember stories far better than they remember facts or figures. When you share personal experiences, your audience connects with you emotionally, which makes your speech more impactful. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
When telling a story, it's essential to structure it well. A good story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. You want to grab your audience's attention from the start, build up the tension, and then end with a strong conclusion that ties everything together.
Absolutely, Thomas. And while stories are powerful, be sure to keep them relevant to your topic. The story should support your main message, not distract from it. When your story aligns with your points, it creates a deeper connection with your audience.
Let's also talk about managing nerves. Public speaking can trigger anxiety, especially if you're new to it. A few deep breaths before stepping up to speak can help calm your nerves. Focus on your message, not on how you're being perceived. This shift in focus can be powerful.
That's great advice, Thomas. Nerves are completely normal, even for experienced speakers. One helpful technique is to visualize success. Imagine yourself delivering a smooth, successful presentation. This mental preparation can calm anxiety and boost your confidence.
Another strategy is to shift your focus from yourself to your audience. Instead of worrying about your performance, concentrate on providing value to the listeners. When you focus on how your message will benefit them, it can alleviate some of the stress and help you perform better.
Definitely, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes them, even experienced speakers. If you stumble, just pause, take a deep breath, and continue. Most of the time, your audience won't even notice a small mistake. It's all part of the learning process.
It's also really important to engage with your audience. Eye contact is a powerful tool to connect with people. When you make eye contact, you show your audience that you are present and confident. It helps to establish trust and keeps people interested in what you're saying.
That's right, Thomas. Eye contact creates a sense of connection, making your audience feel like you're speaking directly to them. If you're nervous, try looking at the tops of people's heads or over their shoulders to create the illusion of eye contact without feeling overwhelmed.
Along with eye contact, body language is another crucial aspect of public speaking. Standing with your shoulders back and your head held high not only helps with your posture but also gives you a sense of confidence. Your body language communicates just as much as your words.
Exactly. Your posture can really influence how others perceive you. Standing tall and using open gestures will make you seem more approachable and confident. Avoid crossing your arms or looking down at the ground, as it can make you appear nervous or unprepared.
Let's not forget the importance of pacing. Speaking too quickly can make you sound rushed and make it harder for your audience to follow along. Instead, focus on speaking slowly and clearly. Pauses between sentences can also give your audience time to absorb what you've said.
Yes, pacing is everything. Pauses can be incredibly effective, especially when making important points. A well-timed pause before or after a key message can make your audience stop and think. It adds weight to your words and helps to emphasize what you're saying.
Additionally, vary your speaking pace to maintain interest. Sometimes, speeding up during exciting parts of your speech can build energy and excitement, while slowing down for important points can make them feel more impactful. This dynamic approach keeps listeners engaged.
You're spot on, Thomas. The variation in pacing not only maintains interest, but also gives you a natural rhythm. Try practicing with different speeds to see what feels best for each part of your speech. Over time, this will help you control your delivery with ease.
Another key point to consider is your speech's structure. Make sure your message is clear from the start. Having a strong opening grabs your audience's attention, and a clear middle section lets you expand on your ideas. Always finish with a powerful conclusion.
That's great advice, Thomas. A structured speech ensures that your audience can easily follow along with your ideas. A memorable opening grabs attention, the body of your speech provides valuable content, and your conclusion ties everything together neatly for a lasting impact.
And don't forget to preview the main points at the beginning of your speech. Giving your audience a roadmap helps them follow your message more easily. When they know what to expect, it makes it easier for them to stay engaged and absorb the information you're presenting.
Exactly. A clear structure also makes you look more organized and confident. If you have a roadmap in your head, it'll be easier for you to stay on track and deliver a speech that's cohesive and effective. It also reduces the chance of losing your audience's attention.
Now let's talk about preparing for your speech. Good preparation is key to performing well. Take time to plan your message, practice your delivery, and anticipate any questions. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel. It also helps to be familiar with your material.
That's a great point, Thomas. Preparation is critical. Beyond knowing your material, it's important to practice in front of a mirror or with a friend. This allows you to work on your delivery, body language, and facial expressions, ensuring you come across as authentic and confident.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Practicing in front of a friend or colleague also gives you a chance to receive feedback. It can be useful to ask them for honest opinions about your tone, pacing, and any areas that could use improvement. This type of practice makes you more comfortable.
Exactly. You want to become familiar with every part of your speech so that it feels natural when you deliver it. The more you practice, the less likely you are to forget key points or stumble on your words. Confidence grows with repetition and experience.
Another essential aspect of public speaking is handling mistakes or unexpected situations. It's important to stay calm if something goes wrong. Whether it's a technical issue or you forget a part of your speech, take a deep breath and keep going.
Absolutely, Thomas. Mistakes happen to everyone, and it's okay. The key is to remain composed and not let a minor error ruin your confidence. If you forget a point, simply move on or even acknowledge it humorously. Your audience will appreciate your grace under pressure.
Humor can also help ease the tension in those moments. A lighthearted comment or self-deprecating humor can make you seem more approachable and relatable. It shows your audience that you're human, and it can actually make them connect with you more.
Exactly. Humor is a great tool. It allows you to recover quickly and even add personality to your speech. But it's important to know when and how to use humor. Keep it appropriate and natural, so it complements your message without distracting from it.
One final tip for improving public speaking is to stay present and engaged with your audience. Look for feedback as you speak. Are they nodding along or looking confused? Paying attention to their reactions helps you adjust your tone and pacing in real time.
That's so important. Engaging with your audience helps you keep their attention and also makes the experience more interactive. If you notice them losing interest, it's a good opportunity to switch things up, whether by asking questions or making the content more relatable.
Another way to keep your audience engaged is to encourage participation. Ask questions, invite feedback, or use stories to illustrate your points. This creates a two-way interaction, which makes your speech feel more like a conversation rather than a monologue.
Exactly, Thomas. Public speaking is not just about talking. It's about creating a connection. By involving your audience and responding to their reactions, you create a more dynamic, engaging experience for everyone involved. This makes your message more memorable.
Another great way to enhance your public speaking is through the use of visual aids. Using slides or props can help make your points clearer and give your audience something visual to focus on. Just be sure not to rely too heavily on them. Your words should always be the main focus.
That's such a valuable point, Thomas. Visual aids, like slides or diagrams, can support what you're saying, but they shouldn't overwhelm the audience. Keep them simple and relevant, and don't overcrowd them with too much text. Your speech should still carry the most weight.
Right, Jennifer. Also, when using visual aids, make sure they're clear and easy to read from a distance. Avoid complex images or excessive information. The key is to keep them simple and directly related to your message so they enhance your points, not distract from them.
Exactly, simple. Clear visuals help maintain the audience's focus on your message. Additionally, when using slides, try to use large fonts and high contrast colors so everything is legible, even from the back of the room. Make sure the visuals add value, not confusion.
Let's also talk about the importance of body language. Your body language speaks volumes about your confidence and engagement. Make sure to stand tall, maintain eye contact, and use gestures to emphasize your points. This will help you appear more convincing and authentic.
Absolutely, Thomas. Your body language is as important as your words. If you slouch or avoid eye contact, it can give the impression that you're not confident or not interested. Being mindful of your posture and movements can make a huge difference in how you're perceived.
And don't forget about your facial expressions. Smiling and showing emotion through your face helps convey warmth and enthusiasm. Your audience will feel more connected to you when you appear approachable and passionate about the topic you're discussing.
Yes, Thomas, smiling is such a powerful tool. It not only makes you appear friendly, but also helps put both you and the audience at ease. A sincere smile can foster a positive atmosphere and make you seem more approachable, which encourages audience engagement.
Now let's talk about one of the most essential components of public speaking: pacing. How fast or slow you speak can significantly affect the clarity of your message. Speaking too quickly might confuse the audience, while speaking too slowly could bore them.
Exactly, Thomas. Pacing is key to keeping your audience engaged. You want to speak at a steady pace, with pauses for emphasis and to allow the audience to absorb your message. If you rush, your points won't be as effective. A good rhythm keeps listeners interested.
It's also important to vary your pacing during different parts of your speech. For example, slow down when making a key point to add emphasis, or speed up during more energetic moments. This variation will help maintain the audience's attention and make your delivery more dynamic.
I completely agree, Thomas. Pausing at key moments also allows your audience to reflect on what you've said. This gives your words more impact. Effective pacing isn't just about speed, it's about controlling the flow of your speech to match the emotions and message you want to convey. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope these tips on improving public speaking have given you some practical tools to boost your confidence and effectiveness. Remember, with practice, anyone can become a great public speaker.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to apply them next time you speak in public. With time and experience, you'll notice improvements. Keep practicing and you'll see the results. See you in the next episode.